الموسيقى هي نقطة الالتقاء بين الشعوب، لذا سننطلق من الإمارات وتحديداً أبو ظبي لنلف العالم ونتعرف على ثقافات الشعوب، ونتخاطب بالموسيقى مع الفنانة الشابة ملك الحسيني التي لطالما كانت الموسيقى شغفاً بالنسبة لها، ما جعلها تلحن وتكتب كل أغنياتها الخاصة. في كل حلقة أرض جديدة وموسيقى مختلفة وفنان يستقبلنا، ونتعرف على الموسيقى المحلية للبلد، ونتشارك معاً تأليف مقطوعة موسيقية ندمج من خلالها في كل مرة الموسيقى الخليجية بالموسيقى التقليدية للبلد المضيف، لأن الموسيقى هي نوتة وصل. وجهتنا في هذه الحلقة الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وتحديداً نيو أورلينز، مدينة الموسيقى وموطن الجاز. سنزور نيو أورلينز مع الفنانة ملك الحسيني، يرافقها في هذه الرحلة المؤلف الموسيقي وسوليست العود فيصل الساري.
أخيراً يا فيصل وصلنا على نيو أورلينز، المدينة اللي اتولد فيها الجاز وعازفين زي لويس أرمسترونغ.
لويس أرمسترونغ أيقونة موسيقية مهمة جداً عبر العصور، طبعاً مو بس في أمريكا، هو يعتبر هو الجاد فاذر لآلة الترمبت. هو كان له دور كبير في كسر العنصرية ضد العرق الأسود في الولايات المتحدة، لذلك هو خلد ويعتبر من الرموز والأيقونات الأمريكية الهامة جداً في العصر الحديث. الحين بنلتقي بالعازف الأمريكي، عازف الساكس جيمس مارتن، عازف ومؤدي ومغني أيضاً. واو. وكاتب ومنتج.
كل ده؟
طبعاً.
جيمس مارتن بدأت قصته مع الموسيقى في طفولته، أما انطلاقته الفعلية فكانت مع فرقة ترومبون شورتي، لينفصل بعد 7 سنوات مؤسساً فرقته الخاصة هابي جاك فريكونسي. عزف على أهم المسارح وهو يعمل كمنتج مع عدد كبير من النجوم.
Hello, what's up? How y'all doing?
James Martin. How are you?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you both. Welcome to New Orleans.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
Let's follow me to the Louis Armstrong statue.
Let's go.
All right, well, here we are in the heart of the Treme neighborhood, one of the birthplaces of jazz in Louis Armstrong Park.
It's so beautiful
And here he is, this beautiful statue dedicated to Louis Armstrong. Of course, he was one of our earliest and greatest ambassadors of New Orleans, American, and jazz culture throughout the world, really.
So he's the godfather, huh?
Yes, he's the godfather. There were some other people involved too, but he's the one that really popularized it and sent it all over the world.
I see.
He also revolutionized the way they play jazz. Like it used to be more of a group improv type of thing, and he changed it into like a solo.
That's actually a really good point, because improvisation wasn't necessarily a popular form of creativity at that point. And him going out into the world and doing that kind of really broadened the possibilities of live music and creativity. And that's jazz in a nutshell. He was born around the year 1900. He spent the first few years, through his teens, his early 20s here, and then he eventually moved out the city. But he carried that New Orleans and Louisiana culture wherever he went. He never really let the celebrity status get to his head. And if you ever get a chance, in Queens, New York, he resided there in his final years of his life. But he would sit on the porch and teach, you know, local musicians, the little children in the neighborhood, how to play music. He was very a humble person. Yeah, I never got the chance to meet him, of course, but but let's continue. Come on, guys.
Okay.
All right, well, here we are in the Congo Square, part of the Louis Armstrong Park here in Treme. And this area right here is actually one of the most important parts of New Orleans and Western American music history. This city, actually, this year marks the 300th anniversary of the city of New Orleans. It's our 300th year birthday. And back early in the French and Spanish colonial period, the slaves would meet here on Sundays, and they would trade their wares. They would play instruments, such as the banjo or banjo-like instruments, different string instruments, drums, and they would sing and dance and sell things. And it was one of the earliest forms of American music, because that's when European influence started, like the violin was introduced to the African rhythms. Eventually during the Civil War, that kind of died down a little bit, but in the late part of the 1800s, brass bands used to meet here, and they used to perform concerts, right here.
Where we are.
Yeah, exactly. And it still happens to this day. So really, right here is, if you want to pinpoint the birthplace of jazz,
wow,
it's right here. Yeah.
This thing.
Well, let's continue. I think it's time to get to the studio, huh?
Okay, let's go.
قطع ملك وفيصل مسافة طويلة للقاء جيمس، فكيف سيتمكنون بالموسيقى من إلغاء المسافة بين ثقافتين مختلفتين؟
It's just a little bit further. The studio is up there on the right.
Well, I don't mind walking here.
Yeah. What do you think of New Orleans?
I love it. It's so colorful. It's so lively.
Oh, yeah.
It has a bit of a European vibe.
Absolutely, yeah. Caribbean and Southern American, too.
Really? So, James, tell me, what is it like being a jazz musician in New Orleans, the city of jazz?
It's a great life. It's a great place to be a jazz musician. There's a very thriving live music scene, and it's also a great place to grow up in, because you just hear music everywhere on the streets, parades going down the streets.
So you're bound to have a good year living here.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very nurturing environment for someone to become a musician.
I would love to see how this fusion is going to turn out.
Yeah, this is what we have to try to do between me and James.
I'm sure there are similarities there, and music's, in my opinion, a conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
And so
it's a connection.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things that could really unite the world.
Yeah.
You know, even if we come from different backgrounds and different cultures, you know, here we are making beautiful music, hopefully, together.
So what is the suitable keys for your instruments?
Well, most commonly, for New Orleans kind of brass band, jazzy stuff, it's usually B flat, E flat, and actually where this comes from is the old marching bands, the old European marching bands. These are marching instruments, and they would all write in those keys. Could you tell me some more about the oud? Because I've heard it before, and I've always been kind of mesmerized by it, because we don't have too many of those over here. So it's there's no frets like a guitar.
No.
And you have the double strings for each one.
It is a fretless fingerboard. It is between the violin and the guitar.
Well, I have never really heard much of Emirati music before, and I'm kind of unfamiliar with the oud. Is there something you could play for me? That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Yeah, wonderful. Wow. You sound like you could be on an old wooden porch in Mississippi playing that thing when you get the blues scale there.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
James, I'd love to hear the sax.
Sure. Nice. I like it.
You really have to have like lungs of steel to be able to play this instrument.
Yeah.
So,
amazing.
because it's very, the two styles is very far away between each other, let us try to do something to bring them together.
Right. Like a little bit of a mixture of like what you just played.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, please.
لا يخلو المشهد في نيو أورلينز من الموسيقى حتى بشكل عفوي، أما إرثها وغناها الثقافي فحاضر في طابعها المتأثر بالثقافة الفرنسية والإسبانية.
فيصل، سفريتنا لأمريكا كملت لأن احنا هنقابل واحد من أهم عازفين الترومبت في العالم.
طبعا هو حاز على جوائز جرامي ومرشح لجائزة الأوسكار.
هو كمان مؤلف موسيقى تصويرية.
من حسن حظنا أن بنلتقي بشخصية وقامة فنية كبيرة مثل هذا الفنان، وأكيد بنستفيد من خلال هذا اللقاء، بنتعلم منه الشيء الكثير.
So Terence, thank you so much for meeting us today.
Oh,
It's really an honor.
Thank you for coming.
I wanted to ask you, at what age did you decide I want to be a composer?
Well, you know, that started around the time when I was about 16 years old, 15 or 16.
Oh, that young?
Yeah, because my aunt, my mom's sister, went to school with Ellis Marcellus and another guy named Roger Dickinson. Roger, nobody knows who he is, but he's a great composer himself who studied in Vienna. And then he came back to New Orleans to get involved in education. So I had been studying music since I was 5 years old. And my aunt saw that I was progressing. And then she said, I think you're ready for Roger. Let's go and talk to him. So he took me on as a student. And I'm thinking he's just going to teach me piano. Yeah. No, the first thing he started talking to me about was composition.
Wow.
And when I was 16 years old, he got me to the point where I'd actually written a piano concerto based off of a 16-note tone roll. So I was bit by the bug from that very moment.
So he played a huge role in your life.
Yeah, he's like my musical daddy.
So Terence, I know you do most of Spike Lee's music. So how did that friendship start, or how did that special duo take over the world?
Well, you know what's interesting about that? I was hired as a session musician on one of his earlier films. Oh. And I was a big Lakers fan. So I come into the session, man, I got a Lakers hat on, I got a Lakers t-shirt, I even had the tennis, man. And I didn't know Spike, and I walk in, and everybody's walking in, and he looks at me and goes, Lakers fan, huh? And I go, what up, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we became friends right after that. When Spike asked me, it was funny. People asked me, how did I get in film? And it's because when we were doing Mo Better Blues, we took a break and I was playing something at the piano. So Spike asked me, he said, well, man, what is that you're playing? I said, oh, man, this is a tune called Sing Soweto that I was writing for the kids that were massacred in South Africa. So we recorded just a solo trumpet, right? And then Spike shot it, and then we got it back to the editing room. He felt like it needed more stuff. So he said, hey, man, you think you can write a string arrangement for it? And I'll allow it. And I said, sure, of course.
You can never say no to
that. Of course. I mean, when that opportunity staring you in the face.
Yeah. So I know that the last movie, Black Klansman, is nominated for an Oscar.
Yes.
So how does that feel?
It's amazing. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying.
Yeah.
And it makes you really appreciate the people that have helped you along the way, the people that really support you, and that are always there for you, man. So I'm honored. I'm not only honored for me, but honored for them as well.
So do you think there is it is a big deal, a big problem when you find a theme for the movie? It's a big responsibility, or it's difficult to find that specific theme?
That is probably the scariest part of the process. You know what I mean? Because when you have to sit down and basically make a choice about, you hit a note, boom, and the simplest choice is, what's the next note, right? It sounds simple, but it's very complex, because the other part of it too is just like we're speaking. These languages have been around for generations, right? But we've gotten comfortable to the point where we're not thinking about every word, we're just making a statement. That's what I try to do with music. See, I'm a firm believer that the music finds you. You know what I mean? It's like, but you have to be willing to accept it and put your ego aside. The music is out there in the universe, and it's looking for a place to be presented through. Yeah. You know what I mean? And sometimes you're that person.
It's very profound.
Man, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, you gonna play something for me?
If you like.
Yeah, of course. I can't play it. I'd love to hear it. beautiful. Go and go grab my horn. Yeah. Let me see, I got to warm up though, man. This dude, I don't know if I should play behind that. That's all I need.
نهر المسيسيبي هو واحد من الأنهار الرئيسية في أمريكا الشمالية وتاني أطول نهر في الولايات المتحدة وبيسموه النهر العظيم. هو يعتبر ممر رئيسي لنقل المنتجات الزراعية والصناعية. أشهر وأقدم كافيه في نيو أورلينز كافيه ديومون اتأسس سنة 1862 ومعروف بالدارك روستد كوفي والبنيه. I think I'll have one cafe au lait and one beignet. All right. Thank you. دي أحلى حاجة أكلتها في حياتي.
Oh, hey, what's up, Fazil?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good to see you. This is Beck Berger, great pianist.
Hi,
Yeah,
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
You ready to make some music?
Of course. Basically, I'm gonna try to play some jazz scales, improvise, choose a very suitable theme, loop it.
Okay.
So it will gonna be part from your side, part from my side.
Right.
Like a conversation.
Yeah, we could kind of trade ideas and then maybe at the end kind of come together.
Right, yeah. But I have a question. Can I play something normal, like normal minor through this?
Yeah.
That's the main scale you use with most of the time that you're playing oud? Is the harmonic minor?
Yes. Minor in general. Harmonic minor, melodic minor, even we use it.
Melodic minor probably works better over this, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Can I?
Yeah, for example?
So like, you know, the harmonic minor of C over the 5. Oops. You have all these tensions that, you know, over the 5 chord sound like that. And I mean, so that sonic quality right here is, it can all be harmonic minor. And so you can really...
From which note exactly?
From the 5th degree of the C harmonic minor scale.
Kind of use it maybe as a passing tone, as we would say in jazz.
For example, like I'm doing.
C harmonic minor scale over it, and then I'll play a C minor, so you can use that scale to weave into tonality. So also just with chord tones, I mean, that's more of like what I think of as like trying to land on the chord tones of.
Yeah, and it's based on theory, of course, but finally it will go.
Like you said, at the end of the day, music is a feeling. It comes from listening, and it comes from the heart.
That's right. So. That's right. And this is the main part to make a connection between two different societies.
Yeah.
I kind of look at theory like traffic laws. Like once you know all of them, you can just go anywhere you want.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
You just follow those.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
في الوقت الذي كان فيصل وجيمس في الاستوديو، كانت ملك تبحث عن مزيد من القصص لتخبرها عن مدينة تضج بعروض الموسيقى الحية في كل الأوقات.
الموسيقى في نيو أورلينز متواجدة 24 ساعة. أنا دلوقتي في بيربن ستريت، الشارع اللي مليان حياة ولايف ميوزك على كل زاوية. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Everybody put your hands up. نيو أورلينز جاز ميوزيوم هو متحف موسيقي في وسط المدينة، وبياخدنا في رحلة عبر تاريخ موسيقى الجاز، الموسيقى اللي انتشرت في العالم كله. المتحف بيعرض أكبر مجموعة آلات موسيقية لأشهر عازفين الجاز، منها أول كورنت لعب عليها لويس أرمسترونغ عازف الجاز الشهير. فاتس دومينو كان بيانيست ومغني ومؤلف، وده البيانو الستاينوي بتاعه اللي اتدمر وقت هوريكين كاترينا، واخدوه لويزيانا ميوزيوم فاونديشن وصلحوه وعرضوه هنا في المتحف.
مهمة الدمج الموسيقي لم تكن سهلة، فمحاولات فيصل وجيمس استمرت لأيام لإيجاد نوتة الوصل.
So back if you will find for us a theme based on jazz, blues, jazz, something like this. So it will gonna be our match area.
Okay. Well, maybe we could use the theme, the opening melody for St. James Infirmary.
Sure, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay, let us.
I'll just play it again. Here's the second part.
Okay, I want to go to the minor, the normal minor. From
Harmonic minor to
yes, from G.
natural minor?
From G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is what I was meaning to go and come back again. So I think we have to organize it. Who will start first? Who will continue? How we will close?
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Since you know that melody very well, and I know the chord progression very well, and you know the scale very well, we could just really kind of optimize all those roles together. And so you could play the melody, and you could answer the melody with your own vocabulary.
Right. I'll play part of the melody.
Let me find it.
Right.
Play a little bit of an example.
هوت 8 براس باند هي فرقة موسيقية من نيو أورلينز. هم مجموعة من المغنيين وعازفين آلات البراس والإيقاع. مزيكتهم ميكس ما بين الفانك والهيب هوب والجاز أو موسيقى نيو أورلينز التقليدية. رشحت الفرقة دي للجرامي أورد وحققوا نجاح عالمي. Wow, you guys are incredible. You're incredible. I'm mind blown, honestly. So what's the story? What's your story? How did all of this start?
This all started like way back in New Orleans. A bunch of guys in high school with ambition and a dream trying to make it happen and keep the music going.
And I know you guys go way back. This band is like, what, 20 years old?
Yeah, none of us are the actual original members
but
from then, but that's how long the band has been established. Yeah.
And you guys, you've collaborated with amazing performers and artists like Lauryn Hill.
Of course.
Can you tell me more of those artists that you've...
Oh, man. The artists from Lauryn Hill, Blind Boys of Alabama. We've covered so many great tunes that we never even expected. Like the response from the Marvin Gaye's and Basement Jacks, like all of these guys, like we never expected the response from those actual covers that we covered. But the works, and it's like Lauryn Hill, Blind Boys of Alabama, Mos Def, like so many different people.
So I heard you guys were nominated for a Grammy.
That was 2013, actually. Like it was the next level, just a different plateau. That was our first time, and we actually went to LA. We was shoulder to shoulder with all the stars, so that gave the sense of like, man, we're kind of here. Like,
it's like the best recognition you can have as an artist, I guess, in today's world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
No problem.
And I've really enjoyed your music, and I hope you guys get more Grammy nominations and go on to do incredible things.
Appreciate the love. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Bye. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
دلوقتي موجودة في فرنشمان ستريت اللي في الفرنش كورتر في نيو أورلينز. الشارع ده مليان مطاعم وأسواق وأماكن بيتلعب فيها المزيكا. دلوقتي أنا رايحة أسمع بانوراما جاز باند.
بانوراما جاز باند تختصر أجواء نيو أورلينز، وهي منذ التسعينات تنقل بالموسيقى كل ما يدور في هذه المدينة التي تضج حياة. أورلينز الصاخبة إلى الأجواء الراقية، حيث اختار جيمس ميتري كونتري كلوب ليعزف المقطوعة الموسيقية مع فيصل ضمن حفل خيري خاص له.
Southern nights, have you ever felt a southern night? His precious beauty lies just beyond the eyes. Anyone that can truly say that he's found a better way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having us perform at your event. It's an honor and a privilege. We have a very, very special treat for y'all this evening. We have a very special guest all the way from Abu Dhabi. We've been working together for the last couple of days, collaborating, taking some of Western music and Eastern music and combining them together and making the world a little bit closer, one note at a time. So without further ado, with great honor, I invite to the stage from Abu Dhabi, Fessel Al-Sari.
ونهاية زيارتنا إلى نيو أورلينز لابد من الإشارة أن نغمات الموسيقى فيها تخترقك. هنا تشعر أن الموسيقى هي أقوى وسائل التواصل الإنساني، تغادر وقصة الجاز مطبوعة فيك. دمج قرع الطبول الأفريقية بالأبواق الأوروبية أنتجت لحناً قدم الجاز إلى العالم. نودعكم عبر قناة أبو ظبي إلى أن نلتقي في بلد جديد ومع نوتة وصل جديدة.